was on my forearm. They would put some kind of, they would take a needle and shoot some kind of stuff under my skin that made it blister. And once it blistered, they would take these shears and cut that skin off and put it in jars and would put salve on your arm to kind of make you comfortable. One of the other tests that I took was when they made 4 incisions on the left side of my body, on my ribs, and they sewed me up with different materials, like red material, blue material, gray material. And that material was for the hospitals, like in the operating room where you've seen all white.
There is a coming tsunami of mRNA medicines. There is a coming tsunami of mRNA medicines. There is a coming tsunami.
Son, a picture-perfect family. When she died after a scheduled C-section delivery of their second child in 2016.
After allowing my wife to bleed and suffer needlessly, while my family and myself begged and pleaded for them to simply just treat her with dignity and respect.
The case bolstered by this video deposition from Angelique Washington, a former surgical technician at Cedars-Sinai who was in Kira's operating room.
The room started to look like a murder scene, a crime scene. It started, blood everywhere. I knew it didn't feel good.
The LA Times reporting on the event.
First at 11, this one is tough to believe. An investigation tonight into a possible illegal medical lab. It was operating out of an abandoned warehouse in Reedley. Inside, mice bioengineered to incubate the COVID-19 virus.
Bruh.
The lab was discovered near I and 9th Streets. 30 refrigerators and freezers, some broken, were found filled with bodily fluids. Health officials tell us they are shocked at the biological house of horror.
They were doing some testing on laboratory mice there that would help them support developing the COVID test kits that they had on site.
Documents show the lab was also being used to produce pregnancy tests. 200 of the nearly 1,000 mice were already dead. According to court documents, experts determined that at least 20 potentially infectious, viral, bacterial, and parasitic agents were being stored inadequately, including E. coli, malaria, and even COVID. The city of Reedley immediately called in the CDC, the FBI, the California Department of Public Health, and
the numbers. But for black people, for black women, I need you to hear this if you don't hear nothing else in your damn life. Sister, if you are giving birth to a child, if you plan on giving birth to a child, I need you to listen to me. Sisters, I need you to listen to me like you ain't listened to a black man before. Don't you take your ass to a hospital that you done asked 1,000 questions before you stepped your ass in there. Do you hear me, sister? I worked in the ICU the other night. I'm normally a trauma medic in the emergency room, but I picked up a shift in the ICU. And we immediately got a sister in there who had an emergency C-section, and she had internal bleeding, hemorrhaging. Now the baby was taken out and the sister was brought up to the ICU and critical care. Critical condition.
What's up, guys? This is Super Mike 2164. I'm doing this real quick because I wanted to answer this question. Why are there so many conspiracy theorists among black people? Why are so many of us not trusting? We don't trust no damn body. We don't trust the police. We don't trust the doctors. We don't trust the hospitals. We don't trust no damn body. We don't trust the ministers, the church. We don't trust the officials of nothing. Why we don't trust nobody? And then you got all kinds of conspiracy theories, and guess what? A lot of stuff we wrong on. We'd be wrong. But why are we here? Why so many conspiracy theories? It's because black folks are just dumb. Is that what you want to believe? If that's what you want to believe, that's fine. Blacks are dumb, so that's why they make conspiracy theories. Move along. No, maybe not. It's because over 100 years of white folks and white hospitals not taking us, the fact that we lived longer, even if we were slaves, the fact that You got so many instances of these professionals, people who have went to school, who have studied day and night, people who got degrees, got in debt, and need jobs. Guess what? Once you need that job, if you don't practice properly, your insurance can drop you. You could be fired. Or you could not be allowed to practice because you don't have the so-called insurance and what have you. So I've been told by doctors directly, practicing doctors, that if they prescribe things that's outside, even though they know these things will work, but they cannot give you prescriptions or tell you anything that is outside of a certain medical realm. I mean, drugs because pharmaceutical companies have had them sign certain stuff. And if you don't sign that stuff, then your practice is not going to earn enough money for you to pay all the things that you got to pay. That's what I was told by the actual doctors. So if it's not true, somebody let me know, because that's what I was told. There's a lot of doctors out here that have debt, that need to pay that debt off. And plus, they just want to earn money. And they have to sign certain agreements with pharmaceutical companies. When you have a certain set of problems that is brought to that doctor, I was told that they have to tell you the certain set of solutions that they've agreed on. They can't give you solutions outside of these types of drugs. Otherwise, they will be in breach of a contract that they agreed to. And they could be held responsible just for breaching the contract, which would send them into bankruptcy probably. So that's one reason why we don't trust stuff. Another reason why is because these so-called medical professionals who have this big, beautiful hospital, black women end up dead there, bleeding to death. For some reason, everybody got to get a C-section. It's almost like they're punishing black women for having children. You got to get a C-section. You can only get so many C-sections. You got black people who blow the whistle, they get fired. Nobody hears about these people. Just get fired. But we're supposed to trust everybody. So, I'm dropping this one because I want everybody to know there's a tsunami. Keep in mind, we live in capitalism. So you got to realize that money is over your life to these people. Now, is that important to you, your life, or money? So are you supposed to accept putting your life and your children's lives below the level of somebody else's money? Well, you got to understand they need to make money. So you got to have substandard care or you got to die. You got to be poisoned because these people need to make money, and I'm supposed to actually accept and understand that type of level of care. That's why you have conspiracy theories. People don't want to die, needlessly. Even though, true enough, people, you can say, well, you're dying anyway. Well, damn, shit. Okay, well, at least I'm dying from something else that I can try to control it. But this is where you're getting, people don't know what to do. They see these things are wrong. They're not seeing things added up. So, laughing at us, you can just keep on laughing. That's fine. But, it's going to just get worse and worse because, and the thing is, especially because of the pandemic and a lot of the responses and now the turnarounds, a lot of the conspiracy theorist people, we've been turned into, looks like we're right. We were more right. We feel more right. And so, folks are going to keep on doing it. People are regretting certain decisions that they feel they were forced into, even though now we have lawsuits that federal agencies are saying that they didn't force anybody to do anything. they never recommended these forces and all these type of things, but they changing their tune. They're changing their tune. So let's look at some of this, and then I do want to comment a little bit later. But that's why you got.
We have entered an entirely new era of medicine. Having learned to speak the language of mRNA, the language of life, we can now use it to create medicines that are just for one person, like a personalized cancer vaccine, or can be rapidly produced and distributed to entire populations like the COVID-19 vaccines. And the best part is we're simply tapping into your body's own ability to make its own medicines. Creating and maintaining a healthy human requires the combined action of over 100,000 different types of protein. And our bodies make them all. Thus, our bodies are remarkable protein factories. At the molecular level, the numbers are truly mind-blowing. Each of the 30 trillion cells in your body, that's 3 with 13 zeros, contains between 1 and 10 billion protein molecules. That means that you have as many protein molecules in your body as there are stars in the known universe. Like proteins, messenger RNAs are long, chain-like molecules composed of building blocks. As their name implies, messenger RNAs carry messages that are translated by your body in order to create proteins.
All right, so you seen what Melissa says. She's just a researcher, So the thing is, a researcher is supposed to be something big there in the scientific community. It is a big thing. So researcher, though, means that people can just research and they get to do a TED talk. But the point is here, she's telling you that this medical Myrna stuff is going to teach your body how to make the proteins it needs to cure the diseases they want or do what they want it to do. So, your body is a factory. So are they going to own that factory? Because my thing is, once they teach your body how to make their product, who owns that product? Yeah, so I don't know. That's conspiracy theory, whatever. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. A lot of stuff is crazy. Can it happen? That's what you should be asking. Is it possible? That's what I look at. I look at, is it is it someone going to benefit? And is it possible? If it's possible, somebody's going to try to do it so they can get a benefit. That's what capitalism is. Y'all need to understand that. The thing is also, the body already knows how to make all these proteins. There's messenger RNA already in our systems. And keep in mind, RNA is ribonucleic acid. So this is the language of life. So this is a language here. Okay, and they just now learn how to speak this language. So if I go to China and I just learn how to speak a little Chinese and Mandarin, I'm not going to be as good as somebody who already been speaking it authentically. Okay, I'm not going to know the nuances and all the different, slangs and stuff and signals. Okay, so they can get in your body and start messing stuff up bad, real bad. And you think they're going to stop? See, y'all just trust. You cannot trust capitalist people. I don't care if they're professionals. They're nice people. But when they get into a cog or a system, following orders from the people at the top, they're just doing their job. And because their job is replaceable, that is not the person you're dealing with now. You're dealing with a machine, a system now. So that's what it is. That's what the situation is. So, that's all I'm saying. Like, this is just something that, we're going to get it sooner or later, but if they keep pushing, pretty soon they're going to push you out. That's the train that this train is heading towards destruction. So it's not about, people, oh, let's listen to the conspiracy theory and throw away what the doctors who have the expertise, and let's just listen to the random YouTube person. No. Look at the track record. Just look at it. They're trying to figure every kind of way to remove you, to remove people from the equation, so that they can operate this system without the requirement of what you provide, which is usually labor and some ideas. So there you go, Myrna. I mean, okay. And some people, and even black folks, we especially should be, on alert, because even if they did give good benefits to some white people, we usually get the short end of the stick. I mean, even now, you go to the hospital, random a procedure like having a baby, and you end up dead. Routinely, though, not just a here and there. It don't matter how much money you got.
If there's a protein that's missing to treat a disease, then we could simply give a few copies of an mRNA to the body for it to produce that protein. There is a coming tsunami of mRNA medicines. Last year, Moderna and AstraZeneca reported positive results from a clinical trial where patients who, during open heart surgery, were dosed with messenger RNA injected directly into their heart muscles that told their heart muscles to grow new blood vessels in order to get around clogged arteries. And for cancer patients, we're creating personalized cancer vaccines. These vaccines are meant to train their bodies, their immune systems, to attack their cancers.
So while they're training your body to attack itself, calling itself cancer, what if it just starts doing an autoimmune disease and, just attacking everything? Guys, this is what you trust. If you want to keep trusting, keep going, go ahead,
For patients with autoimmune disorders, we can send in signals that tamp down their overactive immune systems. Because messenger RNA vaccines can be produced so quickly and rapidly, they're really well suited for newly emerging diseases, as well as other viruses like the flu, where new variants come out every year and the vaccines need to be updated. Now, vaccines are only the beginning. As said before, the advent of mRNA vaccines is heralding in an entirely new...
It is, like I said, we do need doctors, we do need professionals, we need people who do understand how to, make the body healthy and save lives and things like that. But these capitalists, these people, this group that's investing in these gigantic global, procedures here, they have a weird religion that I wouldn't trust. Because you don't know about their religion, you just think that they're professionals. But these people, they believe in a lot of different weird stuff. I mean, it's proven so. Eugenics and, all sorts of Alexander Crowley and all these weird stuffs. And, y'all thinking that it's something sweet. Hey, you gotta be skeptical. And, oh, Michael, we're supposed to just listen to you? No, you're going to either have to study. You gotta basic stuff. You don't have to be a super scientist, but how can you ask questions of a doctor if you haven't studied nothing? You don't need to have a degree, but you got to study. What is the basis? What is digestion starts? What is the foundation of kidney stones? What is the foundation of high blood pressures? What are the different ways you can get high blood pressures? What is the ways of heart diseases, cancers? What is that? What is a cancer? These are things that's all out here killing folks. Just certain stuff like what is the function of food? How does the food play in health. You know, how is food digestion supposed to work? How does elimination supposed to work? I mean, this is basic, you know, nutrition stuff that we should know. But a lot of us don't take this stuff in school, and so we just trust, you know, what they teach the doctor. And the doctors themselves, they just go to school to get good grades. They know a lot of stuff and a lot of details according to their specialty. But a lot of them don't know a lot of nutrition. They don't know a lot about vitamins and certain stuff. Fasting. How does that affect the body? Because they weren't required to study that to pass their tests. A lot of them, they were required to study the various chemicals that's inside of these drugs. Things that can be patented. Things that cannot be patented, a lot of times doctors don't have to study those things. A lot of times. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So, you know, all I'm saying is we just got to educate ourselves a little bit more so that we can ask questions. And when we do see a problem, you know, that way we could at least do a little due diligence to try to, you know, okay, listen to what the doctor says. But then, you know, I had a situation one time. Well, my wife was dehydrated because of her symptoms, but basically, we didn't know what it was. So we were just looking at WebMD, you know, WebMD. That's right online. And we got a couple pointers, but we still not doctors, but we looked up on WebMD and we thought she was dehydrated, but you know, we decided to go to the doctor anyway. And so we went to the doctor and the doctors asked us the same questions we seen on WebMD. And then then they said, hold on a second. They went back and then they came back to us and they asked us the same question we had just seen on WebMD. And we looked at each other and said, this man is going back and looking at WebMD. Because the doctor literally, this was a young white guy. This was in Atlanta. This was on the, I forgot what the name of the hospital was, but it's not Campbellton Road, but it's like the southeast side. It's near the airport, but it's a hospital down there. But that man, he literally, I still believe to this day that man was going back and looking at WebMD and coming back asking us those questions. That's what he was doing. And we just looked at each other like, okay. And he was like, I think it's dehydration, but you know, but guess what he did that we didn't do? He had the blood pressure, he did the you know, certain other tests, and plus he was trained in certain questioning that we didn't know. So, you know, at the same time, you know, we were able to, you know, it was basically, that's what it was, you know, electrolyte loss and stuff like that. And so, but the thing is it's good to know a little bit of something yourself. It's good to know. And we can't just straight trust. But we do have to still go because we are in this system. You know, we are in this system as of now. So that's all I wanted to do. I wanted y'all to finish listening to the brother who did get fired from his job for blowing the whistle on this. They're literal racists in the system. So that's another reason why black folks, we need to start learning how to get back to delivering our family members, having doulas and people that can deliver babies. Because our lives are literally in the balance of races. It is true. So peace out.
Bleeding, hemorrhaging. Now the baby was taken out and the sister was brought up to the ICU and critical care, critical condition. We could not figure out where she was bleeding from, and we were trying to keep this sister alive. I turned to the doctor at some point, doctor that does not look like us, and I say, doctor, can you come take a look at her stomach? It's getting really distended. And her BP, her blood pressure is not going down. That doctor looked at me and said, that's my patient. I'll be over there in a minute. 2 hours later, after this sister coded on that table 2 times and we had to get her back, we finally get her down to the operating room. And yeah, that hemorrhage that they thought they controlled with that emergency C-section was not controlled. She was still having internal bleeding, which was killing her. Black people, I need you to hear me. If you can take your black ass to Target if you can go to Walmart, if you can buy and spend and do for all these corporations that don't give a damn about you, your black ass, your black community, your black race, you can ask questions for that black baby. I don't care if you think you're annoying, the doctor think you're annoying, the hospital think you're annoying. I don't care if God himself think you're annoying from asking too many questions. Ask the question, sister.
I have frozen my